What's up, guys? Mr. Octagonal here from Octagonal Gaming, and we're back with our NFL picks. We have 4 weeks to go, and I'm in a league where I do this with, 5 of my relatives. We do it for fun, and I'm in last place, so, if I pick some, crazy games next couple weeks, probably not this week, because a lot of these games were hard. This was probably the hardest week so far, because a lot of these games seem close, minus 15 and 16. These games are very good. Very evenly matched. So the past 2 weeks I've done well, but we need to do better. I think I could be doing a lot better. Also last week when I was predicting the Monday night game, it happened to be a picture of Ryan Shazier. I said Ryan Shazier was gonna eat. He really did not eat on Monday night. Pray for Shazier. Hopefully he gets better. He is gonna be out for the season. Hopefully that's not a career. That won't affect his career, but that really if you guys did not see his injury. It was not pretty. I know I explain this every week, but if you guys are new to the channel or new to this series, how I predict these games is I do predict each game, but we go above and beyond on this channel. We give each game a point, sort of like a confidence rating, is what I've been saying. For example, let's say we have the Jets and the Ravens. We think the Ravens are going to win, but we're not super confident. Maybe we'll give the Ravens a 1 if we'll give the Ravens a 1. If the Ravens end up winning, we get 1 point. If the Jets win, we get 0 points. But let's say we have the Broncos and the Cardinals, and I'm super confident that the Broncos are going to win. I'm going to pick them with a higher number, like a 16. If the Broncos win, I get 16 points. If the Cardinals... Oh, wait, no, I said I was going to pick... No, okay. So, Broncos, Cardinals. Let's say I pick the Broncos to win. I might pick them with a 16. The Broncos will get 16 points. If the Cardinals win, they get 0. So... Normally, we're picking against the Browns with 15s and 16s. So first, we have the Seahawks and Jaguars. This is actually going to be a very good game. Seahawks coming off a nice win against the Eagles. The Jaguars are pretty underrated, minus quarterback in my opinion. And I know a lot of you guys are not going to like this, but I am going to pick the Jacksonville Jaguars. I do think they're home. They should be pretty evenly matched, but Seattle is not at full strength. They're not at home. And the Jaguars, I think Russell Wilson may have a bit of a rough day with Jacksonville's, or should I say Saxonville's, defensive line, and not a great offensive line that Seattle has. So I picked the Jaguars with a 1. If the Jaguars end up winning on Sunday, I get 1 point. If Seahawks end up winning, I get 0 points for that game. So now we have the Titans and Cardinals. And I'm going with an upset. I'm picking the Arizona Cardinals to win. I think the Cardinals are very horrendous. I don't know how they're 5-7. Their roster is much worse, sort of like the Jets in a way. But and the Jets have a very easy game this week, which we'll get into in a second. Turtle Player 9 will be triggered, but I said that because they're playing the Broncos. But anyway, I think the Titans are just too inconsistent. I think the Jaguars are much better, even though Blake Bortles is their quarterback. And I think the Cardinals are going to upset them. The Cardinals did actually upset the Jaguars a couple weeks ago with Blaney Gabbert. But I'm going to pick Cardinals with a 2. You guys are probably pissed that I'm picking against the Seahawks. Probably pissed that I'm picking the Cardinals to upset the Titans. And now you guys are probably going to get even more triggered. So I'm going to pick the LA Rams to upset the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles had their long win streak since week 3, because they lost in week 2 to the Chiefs. And they haven't lost since until last Sunday night against the Green Bay Packers. The Rams have been very good this year. The Rams are 9-3, I want to say. Yeah, the Rams have 9 wins. The Eagles are very close in front at 10-2, and I think the Rams are going to win. At LA, Goff versus Wentz, I think Goff and the Rams are going to surprise some people on Sunday. I think this should be a very exciting game, and maybe even a playoff preview, and definitely this game will have playoff implications. Now we have the Vikings and Panthers last week. The Vikings, their defense was great against the Atlanta Falcons. Julio Jones only had 1 catch, and he was being covered by Xavier Rhodes. Yet on Thanksgiving, my man Marvin Jones had 6 catches and a really good game on Thanksgiving, but Xavier Rhodes did catch the game-winning interception, and Darius Slay had the game-winning field goal block, but the refs are dummies. So, Vikings, Panthers. The Panthers, I think, are a better version of the Titans. I think the Panthers aren't that good, but I think they're better than the Titans. But the NFC is much better than the AFC. And I do think the Vikings will win this game. I'm going to pick the Vikings with a 4. And that'll mean the Vikings will be number 1 in the NFC. Not the AFC, the NFC, with the Eagles losing and them winning. Well, mini recap, I'm picking the Jaguars with a 1, or should I say the Jaguars? That sounded very weird. I'm picking the Cardinals with a 2, Rams with a 3, Vikings with a 4, and now we have the Saints and the Falcons. This is going to be the Thursday night game, and this is actually going to be a really good game. Normally, I'd pick the Saints lower. Spoiler alert, I am picking the Saints. But normally, I would pick them lower, but there are those 4 games, which I told you guys at the beginning of the video that there were a lot of interesting ones like this one. The Falcons can very well win this. I think the Falcons need this one more because it's less likely they make the playoffs than the Saints. I think the Saints are a lock for that division, even though they're only 1 game better than the Panthers. They do have a tiebreaker over the Panthers, and they're 2 games over the Falcons. So, if the Saints win, they will be 10-3. The Falcons will be 7-6. So the Falcons will pretty much be done for playoffs, and then the Panthers would pretty much have to win out. So if the Saints win, they're good. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm very high on the Saints. I think that right now I think they're the best team in the NFL so far this year. You can argue that the Eagles have been better, or the Patriots, or the Steelers. Well, the Saints haven't really been the best this year, but I think they will be the best come playoff. Are the New York Jets seriously about to go 6-7 with Josh McCown as their quarterback? Yes, they will, because the Broncos have Trevor Siemian as their quarterback. They also have Brock Osweiler and an injured Paxton Lynch. Yeah, with Trevor Siemian and Brock Osweiler as your quarterbacks, your team kind of sucks. The Broncos are extremely talented, but they only have 3 wins because they have no damn quarterback. Kids, this is why you need a quarterback in this league. That team, the Broncos are so talented, but they only have 3 wins so far because they don't have a quarterback. I am a huge Detroit Lions fan, as many of you may know. And after our loss against the Ravens, I don't think we're making the playoffs, so I kind of want to tank. But the problem is our schedule is so easy. We have the Bucs, the Bears, then the Bengals, in Week 17, the Packers. We're going to lose to the Packers because Aaron Rodgers will be back. But the Bucs, the Bears, and the Bengals, we're much better than all 3 of those teams, which normally I'd be happy about that, but I'm kind of disappointed. I'm picking the Lions. It is in Tampa Bay, but you guys know I'm the most biased fan ever, and I'm going to pick the Lions even if they were in New England. Yeah, next year the Lions are going to play the Patriots, I think. So, just be warned, Patriots fan. I'm probably not going to pick your team that game. Mini recap, I'm picking the New Orleans Saints with a 5, the New York Jets with a 6, and the Detroit Lions with a 7. Now we have the Raiders and Chiefs. These 2 teams have been extremely weird. The Chiefs started off 5-0, and then now they've just fallen off a cliff. They're now 6-6. The Raiders are 6-6. They've just been weird. The Raiders are on a 2-game winning streak, but that's against the Broncos and Giants, so what does that say? But now I think the Raiders are going to go on a 3-game winning streak. The Chiefs have been awful lately, and the Raiders are on a winning streak, even though it's against 2 awful teams the Giants did beat the Chiefs because the Chiefs suck. So I'm going to pick the Raiders with an 8. I picked Jimmy Garoppolo to win his first start against the Bears. I was right. And he's not good. Actually, he did start for the Patriots, but his first start with the Niners. You get what I mean. He's not going to win his second one. I get that the Texans have Tom Savage, but the Texans are a better football team than the Niners. Jimmy G is a better quarterback than Tom Savage. I think we can all agree. And Jimmy G is still pretty raw. But the Texans are a much, much, much better football team. And DeAndre Hopkins is still putting up numbers, putting up crazy numbers, even with Tom Savage at quarterback and not Deshaun Watson. So shout out to Hopkins. For Sunday Night Football, we have one of the classic rivalries, the Ravens and the Steelers, more of like in the 2000s when both these teams had sick defenses, and the Ravens still have a really good defense right now. The Steelers, the Steelers are 10-2, As you can see, Hines Ward and Ray Lewis, a Steeler and Raven legend. Both of them will go in the Hall of Fame. And Jared Davis is the next Ray Lewis, because I'm a biased Lions fan. But I think the Steelers will win this game. I know they're coming off a short week. I know Ryan Shazier's out for the year. I know we don't have Juju Smith-Schuster playing. But the Ravens, they don't have Jimmy Smith playing. He tore his Achilles against my Lions, and then the next day he got suspended for PEDs. Great 24 hours there for Jimmy Smith. But even though I said Ryan Shazier was going to eat, and he really didn't, this week I'm not going to say anyone's going to eat, so hopefully no one gets hurt again. Pray for Shazier. The Bengals are not that bad of a team. They're just unsportsmanlike and unclassy. The A.J. Green versus Jalen Ramsey fight, even though A.J. Green's a good guy. Joe Mixon hitting women. Vontaze Burfict and Adam Jones, of course, known for their cheap shots. George Iloka had a cheap shot on Monday on Antonio Brown. But as a football team, the Bengals are not that bad. Well, they're bad, but they're nah. The Bears suck. The Bears really, really suck. They just lost to the Niners, and now I'm going to pick the Bengals. I may be picking the Bengals a little high, but it's the Bears. The Bears are probably the fourth worst team in the league. Or, now, definitely worst six, because you have, the Browns, the Niners, the Giants, the Colts, the Broncos, and the Bears. They're all in, that top six worst teams, because they're all embarrassments. I mean, you could debate about the Broncos. It's just that they don't have a good quarterback. Recap, I'm picking the Raiders with an 8, Texans with a 9, Steelers with a 10, Bengals with an 11, and now you have the Chargers and Redskins. The Redskins are coming off a long week, and they're not that bad of a team. They're 5-7. They're fighting for their lives. But the Chargers are red hot, and I do think the Chargers are going to win. Normally, I would not be picking the Chargers with a 12, but as I said earlier in the video, there are a lot of, evenly matched games. So, I have to pick the Chargers with a 12. Normally, I'd pick them with, a 5 if it was a normal week. But I have to pick them with a 12, so hopefully they can continue their hot streak and win another game against the Redskins, as the Chargers have been very good lately. It seems like ever since they injured Odell, they've been balling out. So maybe the key is to injure Odell Beckham. Bills suck, okay? I get that they're in the wild card spot, but they're really not a good team. They don't know what they're doing at quarterback. But the Colts suck even more. So I'm picking the Bills with a 13 because the Colts are an embarrassment. As I said, they're one of the top 6 worst teams in the league. And they just flat out suck. Cowboys are fighting for their playoff lives. If they lose or the Eagles win, then the Eagles win the division. So that's probably out the window. But the Cowboys still have a very solid chance at making the wild card. And they have an easy game this week against the New York Giants. And I'm going to pick the Cowboys with a 14 because the Giants are a mess. But they finally got the smarts to fire Ben McAdoo and Jerry Reese, because both of them are terrible. Even without Aaron Rodgers, life for the Packers has been going pretty good. They're on a 2-game winning streak, and Aaron Rodgers is coming back. So you know what's going to happen for them to make it a 3-game win streak? They're going to hope they're playing the Browns. Lottery is struck. Guess who they're playing? The Packers are playing the Browns. Guess who I'm going to pick to win this game? No clue. I think I'm going to go with the Packers, even without Aaron Rodgers, and I'm going to pick them with a 15, because the Browns suck. The Browns are terrible. Recap, I'm picking the Chargers with a 12, Bills with a 13, Cowboys with a 14, Packers with a 15. Now we have the Patriots and Dolphins. I'm running out of time. And with my 16, of course, I'm going to pick the New England Patriots because they're the New England Patriots. I traded them my truths for some robbers.